Okay, we testing, 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 testing. Testing, testing, testing. Okay, we're gonna run the intro one more time to see if there's a echo with that. Unfortunately, I'm not able to do any diagnostics uh, or testing um, until you actually are going live. Um, did a recording. I had no abnormal feedback. I don't have any feedback in my monitors, no feedback on uh, the test recording, but it was reported that it's an echo during the live. So we're going to try this again. All right, all right, all right. How's the sound? How's the sound? How's the sound? Are we getting any echoes going on? Any echoes? Waiting on a little feedback. See if we're getting any echoes. Any echoes? Any echoes? All right, so we're getting a positive response about that. So we're gonna go ahead and hit it. Hit. Yeah. All right, gotta do our signature sounds and stuff like that. So, when we got past that little hurdle, we'll get into the show. First off, we're gonna talk about let's see what we got here. See if I have it queued up already. Yes, I do. It's already ready to go. Wife gets gifts from her boss. And this is what happens. This is what happens.
Did not throw my flowers, my gift that I received from my boss. I know you did not do that, Cedric. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? I received these gifts from my boss. It is Valentine's Day. Hey, let me tell you, I've been at my job for 15 years. I deserve a gift. There's nothing wrong with me getting a gift from my boss. And what is wrong with it? You should appreciate it. I'm the one that's holding it down in this house. If you don't like it, well, where you gonna sleep tonight? I wonder where you gonna sleep tonight. Where are you gonna sleep tonight? Because you're not gonna sleep here, because you're not gonna be throwing my gift that I received from my boss. No, sir. No, I don't think so. No. No, you need to leave. You need to leave. Now, you need to leave. Now, you got 5 seconds to leave. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, all right. Says that the echoing came back a little. I need to know exactly at what point did it, because seems as there's a couple of seconds of lag time between what's going on here and what's actually being broadcast and what have you. So where did it echo at? If you can give me that feedback, that'd be much appreciated. All right. All right. So the wife comes home with gifts from the boss for Valentine's Day. Oh, it don't matter what day it is. 18. What's happening? Peace and blessings. Um, I had a similar experience with an ex-wife in regards to dealings with people at work. Okay, it was a birthday that was coming up. This was before I started trying to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. This is before that, so I was doing birthdays at this point in my life. Anywho, she has a birthday coming up, and she inviting the people from the office. Okay, with one of her male counterparts. Um, I wasn't too particularly, fond of, and this was one of the main reasons why. It was 2 occurrences that pretty much made my mind up about him. The first instance, me and ex-wife decided to play, decided to skip work one day. I called off, she called off, and we headed up north in Michigan to a place called Birch Run. Birch Run is a place that has a very large mall that houses a lot of retailers that sell their items at a discounted price. So we up to go on the Birch Run. On the way to Birch Run, he calls her, asking her whereabouts. Was she all right? Was she okay? And what have you. So I was younger then, so I started flipping out immediately. So at the end of that situation, the conclusion was he's not to call anymore. Whatever communication y'all need to have should be at work. A few years later, or months, I can't really remember. It's been so long ago. The birthday thing comes around. She wanted to invite everybody to the office. Now, between that first instance and this upcoming birthday, it was arranged where we had tickets to go, I think, to a hockey game. And I can't really remember right now, but I believe the tickets came from work, from their job. So I took one of my sons with me, and this individual, he came with one of his children. We had a little conversation. I can't remember exactly what, but I know I threw something out there, and it came back around. So that solidified my position on him. So when the birthday thing came up, she invited everyone to the office, everyone from the office. And I said, this particular dude can't come. We had a back and forth. She's not going to not invite one person. And ultimately, the exact words that came out of her mouth was to get over it. Oh, you shouldn't have said that shit to me. Get over it. About a year or two later, I was able to express the same sentiment. It felt good too. But that was my experience that's similar to what this was going on here. It is my belief that as married people, we should not be accepting gifts in this manner. We shouldn't. Now let me clarify. If the boss is giving everybody little party gifts, for example, pens and little items made in shaped as the emblem of the company, you know, notepads and stuff like that, little knickknacks, and he's doing that for everyone. That's a gift that you can accept. What you cannot accept is teddy bears, hot chocolate, hearts, lingerie, balloons of the sort. Anything that's personal or have a personal nature to it, that's something you should steer away from, and you should not feel ashamed or embarrassed to turn that down. In my view on what happened in this situation, being how defiant the wife was that had, and being the type of gifts that she brought home, looked like she had a bag of a lot of stuff. I don't know if it was this story or another story, but I believe this is the story that's where she had a purse. She brought home a purse or something to that effect, and just extra stuff that's not really appropriate for a boss to give their direct reports. So I believe that this lady and her boss had something extra going on for her to be that defiant, that she to have the nerve, the word I'm looking for, the bravery, if lack for a better term, just the arrogance, the gall to come home with these gifts and not have any and then double down on it. So obviously she was ready for the smoke. And there's only a few instances where people are ready for the smoke in situations like this. It's either you already done with the arrangement or with the marriage, or more so than often it's an and you dealing with someone else. And so, you know, there's many aspects in respecting your marriage and what have you. And you have to put up a safeguard towards that and what have you. So when the outsiders come, you should have no problem shooting them down. You should have no problem shooting down folks that show up in your DMs. Even a lack of action is an action that says that you are enjoying the attention. A lack of action meaning not deleting somebody, telling the person outright not to communicate with you in such a fashion. It is dry in this room. Let me put some tunes on. This thing is supposed to come on automatically, but I'm dealing with a new software, and hey, because I'm trying to get away from the monthly payments. We downloaded, we're using Prism Live now and seeing how this works. But it is dry to the bone. Let me find my musical playlist. Let's see here. There we go. Okay, that's a little bit better. Sound a little rhythm to it. So you gotta shoot that shit down for real, men and women. Shoot that shit down. Shouldn't be accepting gifts. Shouldn't be accepting DMs. when it comes to people at work, your communication should be at a certain level with them. It shouldn't be of a personal nature. That leads to, that just opens the door for more personal communication. How's your day? Good morning, how's it going? You know, you wake up to a text, hey, how's it going? You know, this Indian person, somebody that's coming in showing interest, that type of communication needs to be cut off. Because that's a door that can lead to the ultimate detriment of your marriage. So I do not agree with this lady bringing gifts home. In this particular piece on Telegram, or what they call it, Telegram, photogram or some shit, I don't know. It said if a husband isn't okay with his wife accepting gifts from her boss, is he insecure or justified? And it's justification. And people want to use this insecure, the word insecure, as a weapon, as a means to, it's manipulative. That's what it is. It's to strike a chord in your ego so you can, back off of whatever you're talking about so they can continue on doing what they're doing. Oh, hey. I want to get into another subject in regards to black women, because the title says they're not like us, and I bet y'all thought I was going to get into some Kendrick Lamar shit. They're not like us, meaning what the song meant, but from another angle. They're not like us means that they know how to move, period. And when you're at a certain level in this society, you got to move a certain way. You got to move a certain way once you get grown, start paying bills, and hey, you got to move a certain way. But we talking about the upper echelon, right? So what I'm getting into is what I'm about to pull up. I want you to peep this out here. I want you to see this.
The 42nd President of the United States, the Honorable William J. Clinton, accompanied by the Honorable Hillary Rodham Clinton.
The former president having campaigned for both Joe Biden and then for Kamala Harris when she was the top of the ticket.
Now, this dude was getting sloppy toppy on Capitol Hill. Straight up. And his wife is still on his side. what? How long has it been? 20, 25? Oh yeah, about 20, 25 years. Let's continue on.
Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, just honored by President Biden at the White House, Mary.
Yeah, and really a remarkable ceremony. Joe Biden gathering some really amazing names, a wide swath of people to honor, including Hillary Clinton. What an arc for Hillary Clinton, though, to be in the room today, given, of course, what it was like for her 8 years ago during this very moment.
She said it took years to get over how close that loss was. You saw her reach over and shake Susie Wiles' hand. Susie Wiles, right there in center frame. And of course, she will make history as chief of staff.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 43rd President of the United States, the Honorable George W. Bush, accompanied by Mrs. Laura Bush.
Well, this man wasn't caught up in any extramarital affairs. However, there go his rib right next to him. I'm sure they had their ups and downs. Whatever they were, we don't know about them. But on this day, she's by her man.
John Carl, many had asked if George W. Bush would make any kind of political statement given these politically polarized times. And for those of us who have covered him for years, we would often say that is very unlikely.
He sat it out. Look, no love lost between him and Donald Trump, but George W. Bush,
Not interested.
not interested in getting involved.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 44th President of the United States, the Honorable Barack H. Obama.
When I saw that, that pissed me the fuck off. Boy, I was heated. I was heated. I'm like, first thing that came out, they getting a divorce? But I'm looking around on the internet, there's no, everybody else is looking at each other. Like, throwing their hands, like, shrugging their shoulders. Like, oh, what's going on? You ain't heard nothing. You heard it? I ain't shit either. Which means they did not make a formal announcement of any separation or divorce. Which means she should have been there. On one of the grandest stages in this world, one of the grandest stages, the black woman did her best to act a fool. Oh, word going around, well, she wasn't in agreement with Trump. She ain't like this. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't like that. Unless she was like, I don't know, like ill, in which that didn't come out. I haven't seen nothing about that yet. Because if that was the case, they would have already said that prior. Like, Michelle Obama's not going to be here. She's not feeling well. And so you wouldn't have the shock that hits you when this man walks through the door by himself. You already know, what it is. And, probably one of his daughters could have came along with him in place of that. You know what I'm saying? So that could have been an idea. But that was not the case. That was not the case. This is a form of disrespect on one of the highest levels. Michelle dropped the ball on this one, for real. Now, I don't know what they agreed to behind closed doors, and she said, but to even, if let's hypothetically say she had a grievance with Trump. She had a grievance with Bush or Clinton, and I don't want to sit next to him. That childish shit, especially at this level. Oh, hey. Let's say that was in the air, and he says, oh, all right then, Michelle, you don't have to go. Why even put that on the table for that man to make a decision on? Or y'all have a debate over? Swallow whatever shit you got to swallow and be there next to that man. Because you know those other two men, their wives going to be there, and you know how that looks. But you wanted to make some type of statement. It was selfish. Unless some other information is floating around it that I'm not aware of, or something else comes out afterwards to defute my position right now, that was some selfish shit. For real. Even if you are in the process of divorcing, at this level, you still show up. You ain't divorced yet. That was a lack of class. Period. That been on my head for a minute. I needed to get that out. That was some straight bullshit.
Mary Jordan, Barack Obama, being applauded by that room as he walks by.
Look at all those Edomites around him. It's speculation out there that he's a dark Edomite himself. But for the purpose or the sake of the argument that, once again, the black man got to deal with the world by himself, for the most part, as a whole, not your little individual circumstances that you have sprinkled amongst the society, but as a whole, the black man is by himself. When the black woman talks about equal rights and what have you, or what's the term used, DEI and all that carrying on, she's saying she's a double minority. She's black and a woman. When you have been the most enabled and helped segment of the population, got the most degrees that you do nothing with. You got the court system backing you up so you can get the kids the house, the car, and a third of his check. The killer part is that as a whole, the black woman looking at the black man like we oppressed them. Like we was holding them back. And I swear to goodness, I could have swore we both got captured and put on that boat and shipped over here against our will together. And we both have been struggling and trying to climb up together. It's not until certain mechanisms was put in place. Now y'all looking at us like we did something to you. And we ain't never had the power to do anything. Not on this side of the pond. As black men, we've never had the power to do anything, any trespass against our own black women as a whole. We didn't have the power to make your education better or give you access to higher education. We didn't have access to give you to get you hired somewhere. We didn't have the power to make that happen. As a whole, everybody want to argue on micro arguments when we talking macro. Turn the music up a little bit. We didn't have the power to make sure you wasn't able to get educated or what have you. None of that. We was oppressed at the same time you was oppressed. They decided to empower you. Then you turn around and look at us like shit. You ain't making 6 digits. You ain't hitting it. All right, then. Keep your shit then. This was an embarrassment for all of us. She dropped the ball on this one.
And all these different relationships, actually we were talking about this earlier, Lindsay was alluding to it as well, you know, the Bush political dynasty, the Clintons, Hillary Clinton trying it, Barack Obama obviously serving, and then his vice.
But you know what? I commend this gentleman. Even though whatever agreement they had behind closed doors, he already knew what the sentiment was once he hit that threshold, and he went on ahead and faced that shit, and he did his thing. And salute to you. I'm not in agreement with your policies, but on that day, you had you put your face on. So salute to you for that. Salute to you for that. All right. So we're gonna get out of this. It's a perpetual cycle of everybody doing some fucked up shit. And then everybody just needs to stop. That's not gonna happen. So I don't know what the remedy is. And I know what the remedy is, but no one has the discipline to look at themselves, take on their own what they have done and how they've trespassed other people, how they behave, and correct that shit. Everybody is as lazy as shit as far as being emotionally intelligent, you know, and they do what they want, they do what they will, you know, regardless on how who their effect feels. They're too lazy to catch themselves when they know they get worked up on something, you know what I'm saying, to catch themselves, you know, marinate on whatever, you know what I'm saying, they come to the table with, something reasonable. Everybody's just quick to jump to from 0 to 100 on everything. So this is a society of chaos in a way, but it's good shit to talk about. Gives me talking points to go over. So, since we ain't gonna stop acting like a fool, might as well try and get some content out of it, I guess. So, but we're gonna go into the young lady in Pontiac that left her kids at the house for several years. She's this week's snatch. She's made it this week's snatch shenanigans, and so we're gonna talk about that snatch and her shenanigans. But before we do so, Miss O has something that she would like to express to everybody. So we're gonna see what she got to talk about. Go ahead, Miss O, do your thing.
Shalom, family. This is Mrs. O. Thank you for joining our channel. If you enjoy our content, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. If you would like to support our channel, you can do so by scanning the QR codes to the Cash App or the PayPal in the lower left corner. We would greatly appreciate it. Enjoy the show.
That's right. Like, share, and subscribe. We got that all over the page. We got a little bar going right here. Like, share, subscribe, support the channel via Cash App at the $ MrsOShow. All right? Okay, so now we're going to get into what this snatch did with her children.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming and thank you for your patience. My name is...
Before we get into it, so this is the prosecutor getting ready to explain the charges that was put on her. After that, she had, I forgot the name of the hearing when they see the judge the first time. Preliminary, I think, or something. Anyway, she ended up with like a $250 million bond, cash bond. So I'm believing that means that, she has to come up with $250,000 to get out of jail. And I don't think that's likely. So she's up in there. She's not going nowhere no time soon. But let's see what the prosecutor has to say when they finally had the evidence or enough evidence. Once they got the story together, and they went ahead and pursued charges. So this is what the prosecutor of Oakland County had to say.
David Williams, I'm the Chief Assistant here at the Oakland County Prosecutor's Office. Standing here with us are Assistant Prosecutor Kanika Ferenczi, Assistant Prosecutor Lauren Benninger, Chief of our Special Victims Unit Sarah Green, our Chief of Administration Betsy Haig, and of course Prosecutor McDonald. We're also joined by detectives who've been involved in the case from the Oakland County Sheriff's Office. That's Lieutenant Sam Marsden and Detective John Brish. Prosecutor McDonald will announce the charging decision today and take your questions, but before she does that, I want to remind everyone that charges are only allegations and the defendant is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty. Also, the details in the prosecutor's remarks today come from the swear to in 50th District Court earlier today. Prosecutor McDonald.
Okay. Good afternoon. First, I'd like to announce that we have authorized 3 charges of first-degree child abuse against Kelly Bryant, a 34-year-old resident of Pontiac. My office has already advised the court in the neglect proceedings that we will be asking to terminate the defendant's parental rights. In every case of child abuse, my office focuses first and foremost on the best interest of the child or children and on holding those responsible for abuse accountable. The 3 children in this case suffered unimaginable abuse and neglect over a long period of time. Thankfully, they've now been rescued from that, and our first priority has been and will continue to be their safety and well-being. I want to briefly address, though, why we're here. Since the first announcement over the weekend by the sheriff, this case has captured the attention of the people across our community, our county, our state, and even internationally, because people are rightfully concerned about the welfare of these children. And we're holding this press conference because, like all other decisions, we balance the interests of public safety, media attention and inquiries, and balancing everyone's right to a fair trial, which is why the events and facts that are disclosed here today are strictly confined to what's already been placed on the record in the swear-to this morning in the 50th District Court. When their circumstances became public, including the photos of the home, although law enforcement did not identify the defendant, she was quickly identified on social media and also has been reported in other news media outlets, which is why we are naming her today. We have recently, luckily, been fortunate to, for the first time ever, hire our public information officer, Jeff Wattrick, who's in the back of the room. Many of you have already spoken to and will continue to, and we're lucky to have him. The children are currently staying with a relative. All 3 children received immediate medical attention at a local hospital, and they were interviewed by trained forensic interviewers at Care House. Considering what they've experienced, they appear to be doing okay. Obviously, the trauma here is significant, and my office, including our victim services section, will make sure these children are supported during this process. Today, the charges are 3 counts of child abuse in the first degree. This is the most serious charge for child abuse, and if convicted, Ms. Bryant could face a sentence of up to life in prison. In the swear-to this morning, on the record, it was stated that in 2019, suspect Kelly Bryant was living at the home, which I'm not disclosing the address at this time, in Pontiac, Michigan, with her 4 children. At some point between 20 and 2021, the suspect moved out of her home, leaving 3 of her children abandoned in that location while 1 of her children went to live with their father. On February 14, 2025, police were called to the home by the landlord. Police learned that the landlord was concerned for the welfare of Ms. Bryant, who had not paid rent on the property since October of 2024. Police entered with the landlord and discovered her 3 children, ages 12, 13, and 15. Her daughters were hiding in a bathroom that was filled with feces, piles of trash, and completely non-functional, while her son was hiding in another room. Police were astonished to find anyone in the location because it appeared to be uninhabitable, with piles of garbage and refuse several feet high, including large amounts of human excrement. The children were afraid to come out of their hiding places and to speak with the police. Police had to repeatedly advise the children that they were there to help and they were safe. The children's bodies and clothing were covered in feces, and the girls had difficulty physically walking outside of the residence. In addition to the physical difficulty, they appeared to be and were immediately overstimulated upon leaving the residence.
Did you see? Let me back that up. Trash, fecal matter. They said when they found the kids, they were hiding. The kids had fecal matter on their person. The girls, they weren't able to walk correctly. Now, something tells me that these children weren't 100% mentally functioning. Somewhere along the lines of some type of learning disability or something. Because I know my badass at that age, the fuck out there, I don't give a shit what kind of threat you tell me. I'm up in here hungry, not clean. Okay, I got you, not hungry, not clean. I won't be here. But that was my badass, right? And then, I went through my own level of abuse and decided to stay there, so I guess I have to retract that statement. Anyway, to be in that type of environment, I would have to think that the children had some type of mental disability. These children had phones, so the mother was in communication with them. Whenever I guess they was, couldn't take the hunger pains no more, they'll make their communication with the mother, and she'll send over a very basic care package. Such as a loaf of bread to share between him and his siblings to last them 3 to 5 days. This lady, at the time when their father got out of jail, back in, I believe, 21, 22, around about the time that she didn't want to deal with the children anymore, she sent one child to their father's house. But these 3 children, was it 3 or 4, had a deal. It was a total of 4. So these 3 children had a deal. It was 2 baby daddies. The one she don't like, disrespects and hates his guts. Those the kids that got that treatment. I'm assuming that's the one that got out of jail. That's the one that tried to see his kids and she denied visitation. Before she left the house, she was on that bullshit. Go ahead and play the.
Hiding in another room. Police were astonished to find anyone in the location because it appeared to be uninhabitable, with piles of garbage and refuse several feet high, including large amounts of human excrement. The children were afraid to come out of their hiding places and to speak with the police. Police had to repeatedly advise the children that they were there to help and they were safe. The children's bodies and clothing were covered in feces, and the girls had difficulty physically walking outside of the residence. In addition to the physical difficulty, they appeared to be and were immediately overstimulated upon leaving the residence. All 3 children were transported via ambulance to the hospital and showed signs of severe neglect. At the hospital, the children struggled with completing basic hygiene tasks like flushing a toilet and brushing their teeth because they had not done it in years. The children were forensically interviewed and described having virtually no physical contact with their mother, suspect Bryant, or the outside world in several years. The girls had not left the residence in several years, and her son had only left the home to go into the yard approximately 2 times, never venturing away from the house more than to check the mailbox. During his interview, her son stated that he would text their mother when their food supply was running low, and she would have food delivered to the residence. The children shared that during the years they were concealed in the home, their suspect Bryant failed to provide toilet paper, soap, or shampoo. The defendant instructed the kids that they were not to answer the door or leave the house. All 3 children expressed fear about what their mother's response would be if they left the home. Defendant concealed the children from family and friends and lied about who was caring for the kids and their whereabouts. The defendant took the active steps of lying and concealing to make sure the children went undiscovered, and she took these actions knowing that her children would suffer serious physical and emotional harm as a result. Those are the statements made in the swear-to this morning. And again, these are allegations. I do want to point out and thank all the officers that were on scene that day. I personally viewed the videos and images and was struck at what a difficult situation it was, but in the face of that difficulty, offered compassion to these kids. I also want to thank Detective John Brish and Lieutenant Sam Marsban for their dedication in working this case, and of course the assistant prosecutors involved, Chief of Administration Betsy Haig, Chief of our SVU Sarah Green, APA Lauren Benninger, Chief of the Juvenile Division Kelly Collins, and APA Kanika Ferenczi for their diligent efforts in this case. At present, we've not been presented with a request for criminal charges against any other individuals. That does not mean that won't happen.
And so now, with the supervision of Child Protective Services, they're now with a family member. However, they're not technically with or underneath that family member. They're still underneath the umbrella of Child Protective Services. So what that means beats me. I guess that means that they're visiting that address on very consistently and making sure that the children are getting back up to speed with their nutrition and any ailments that they have contracted during this episode in their lives. You can just imagine what they may have, and hopefully they don't have any hepatitis or anything like that. Okay. With what's going on in that house and their inability to keep themselves clean, I'm surprised that, they're not definitely ill of E. coli or anything like that. So, as atrocious as that place was, I can imagine they had they was living with a pest that comes along with such filth and what have you. So, very sad case. I pray to the Most High that they overcome this episode physically and more so mentally, in which we all know that these kids is about to climb a 90 degrees straight wall coated with 10W40 fully synthetic. They're gonna have a hard time. They're gonna have a hard time getting up. So, what was that lady's name? Let's go back, see if we can catch that name.
And again, these are allegations. counts of child abuse in the first degree. Our county, our state, and even internationally, because people are rightfully convinced. We have authorized 3 charges of first-degree child abuse against Kelly Bryant, a 34-year-old.
Kelly Bryant. Kelly Bryant. Let's see if we can get that face on so we can all get a good gander of Kelly Bryant. Well, we're not looking for a football player, that's for sure. Kelly Bryant, Kelly Bryant. They got it as a thumbnail. See if we can go to images. I really want to get her face. They're really not plastering her face like they normally do. Kelly Bryant, Kelly Bryant, Kelly Bryant. Oh well. Kelly Bryant. Can you get your face right now? See if we can.
Now to Michigan, where police say a mother.
Hold on 1 second.
Now to Michigan, where police. Now to Michigan, where police say a mother left her 3 kids home alone for separate.
There we go.
Prosecutors charging.
There we go. We got her. Kelly Bryant. Congratulations. Hope you get everything that you got coming to you. Times 10. The hell with you. For real. Miss Kelly Bryant. You are a snatch. You are a snatch. I got some better words for you. But yeah. Sickening. This is what a demon looks like. Kelly Bryant, you go to hell. For real. Go straight to hell. All right, so that was it for Snatch Shenanigans. We're going to go and check out the video that we got lined up. We got a new hot one from Officer Sampson. And it's called Gird Up. Enjoy.
Soldier, your bloodline, we ain't even neighbors. Electrify the world like some tasers. Israelites got the earth hot as the equator. If you ain't keeping dialogue, see you later. I'll be blacking on this beat like the skin of the creator. We some more gold, I'm committed. Skin and brown brass, I don't steal, bro, I'm different. Didn't want to hit me with that iron, I ain't quitting. But when it come to shit, I keep it 10, I don't even meddle with it. Say it loud, I don't smoke weed, don't say cocaine, don't listen to these modern day rappers cause they dope fiends. People see us out and think we so mean, but the day we stop rebuking lies is in your dream. Let's go, ain't soldier, the way they sold, but you ain't know I'm trying to told you, you rolled over, it's time to go for four. Yeah, let's get it going for four. Just what the streets been waiting for.
All right, nothing wrong with listening to something a little different than somebody's stuff being wet and they want to twerk on that and they want to kill you, your mama, and your daddy too, and bring them back to life and kill them again and trap this and trap that. This is a little bit better for your spirit, a little bit better for your spirit. So now we're going to get into my favorite part of the show. And let me get the music. Let me get that music on right quick. That's right. It's whiskey of the weekend. Yes, sir. Today's whiskey of the week is Limousine Rye, age 6 years. Okay. I've had this up several times over the past couple months. And it has what a rye whiskey has. Turn it down a bit. What the rye whiskey has more so of a spicier, more peppery type of profile. Okay, so rye whiskeys are for those who want that bite, a little extra taste. Taste. So I was told that the music is overpowering. Let me turn the mic up, turn the music down a little bit. Okay, so the rye whiskeys have a more peppery, spicier profile to them. So that's what the rye consists of. Okay, this is not as much. Okay, so I will put this in the lineup as something that will be, if you're just not getting into the rise, in which I am. I'm getting into the rise for the sake of the trial new stuff, for the sake of myself first, and then the show. And then, but I want to get into the rise a little bit. And so this is like unbeknownst to me, just taking this, off the cuff. It's got a light profile to it. So I will put this in the category of a beginner's ride. Okay. So let's see what we got to say about the whiskey. It says multi-stage aging process. We age our whiskey in once-used bourbon barrels to protect the spicy flavor of the rye grain. Use coke-rich parts less than tannin to the spirit, allowing more flavor to come through with less bitterness. Limousine Oak Solera finishing. The finishing touch is Limousine Oak, one of the world's most expensive coke-rich. We blend 20 to 30 barrels to finish in our 16-barrel custom Solera system of French limousine oak for 3 to 6 months. That's a lot of process for this particular whiskey. I don't know, I think they might be over embellishing a little bit, but be so as it may, that's what they say their process is. It doesn't taste like all that shit went down. But if you're just getting into the rise, this might be what you're looking for, just to get your palate started. Or you might want to jump both feet in and just go ahead and burn the shit out your palate. Whatever floats your boat. But baby, limousine ride, whiskey, 6 years, age 6 years. Go out and get you something tonight. Chill out and relax. Enjoy yourself, all right? Yes, sir. All right. All right, that concludes Whiskey of the Week. Let's get the music playlist going again. All right. So, what we went over tonight was, pretty much when it comes to Kendrick Lamar was correct in so many ways. One way in which I know he wasn't thinking about. They're not like us. Seems like they know how to show solidarity at the right times. And it seems like we don't. And that's sad. That's sad. Ladies, y'all gotta get that shit together. Y'all gotta stop looking at us like we the ones that oppressed your ass in the first place. When you was being oppressed, we was being oppressed. If I could have got you a job, I would have done so. But I preferred your ass to be at home raising the kids. Oh, that was a problem too. Now we got a bunch of wild ass children, generations and generations, my generation being one of them. So, latchkey kids at home doing what the hell they want to do until mama walk through the door after around 5, 6, or 7 o'clock coming home from work. Ladies, you got to do way better than that. We are not your problem. In case you didn't know it, and I know you don't believe it, one of the main reasons why we act the way we act, but I'm going to say it anyway. We got on this side of the pond together, and whether you like it or not, we're going to be going back on the other side of the pond together. But when we get back over there, all that feministic shit out the window. Everybody gonna be in their rightful roles. And everything will be back in harmony again. But we ain't getting into that. We getting into more of my belief system rather than, because I know most of y'all, saying whatever to that. But be that as it may, we got into this together, we're going to get out of this together, whether you agree with that or not. All right? that story also went, one of the news broadcasts, they went into how she was able to not be detected. And it's still astonishing to me that it went down this way. And did she know that this loophole was already in the system, or it was just a luck of the draw? So this is what happened. Let's say in Pontiac, because I don't know about this, I don't know about this being in Detroit, and I'm pretty sure it's not like this in Beverly Hills or Bloomfield Hills or Bloomfield Township, or in the Grosse Points or in Livonia. I'm pretty sure it's not in those school districts. But in this particular school district, Pontiac, which is like a baby Detroit, she withdrew the children. There was no checks and balances in place to where she had to report that the kids was re-enrolled somewhere else. So she was able to withdraw the children, and with I think she had proof that they was gonna go someplace, or a plan to go someplace. However it was something that is within their process is something where they do not double back. The authorities that be do not double back and make sure the kids finish a full transfer to another school. So that's how she got away with it. When I was coming up, you had people called truancy officers. If your ass wasn't there, like, I don't know what, 3-4 days, they was knocking on the door. So I don't know. That was in Detroit. So there was some representatives, one representative over Pontiac, and some other state legislation, state lawmakers. They're looking into getting a law enacted to fill in that loophole. And then on one of them, on one of the news broadcasts, one of the state lawmakers said, we're going to see what we can do to enact a law to put, to plug that hole in the process. But for those at the grassroots, you school staff, school administrators, y'all need to do your job. And make sure these kids are where they're supposed to be. Okay. So with that ends the show. Hope you got something out of it. We'll try to be back next week. Hopefully nothing else, everything will calm down. We don't know yet. We don't know until the next day show up, right? And we take on whatever we got to take on so we can continue moving on how we was moving on. But until that time, you take care of one another, and remember, you are your brother and sister's keeper. And with that, peace.
Stay together, good, bad, just like stay together forever. Now listen, I know things not gonna always be perfect, but we gotta pray, we gotta fast, we gotta do whatever we gotta do. I'm talking about whatever we gotta do to stay together.
I'll do whatever you say.